Hi, my name is Pia and this is the Luotos knitting podcast. This is my very first episode in English, so bear with me. I'm a bit rusty on my English and I can't seem to find the right words at the moment. I'm Finnish from Finland, and Finland is situated between Russia and Sweden in Northern Europe. And as I said just now, I'm having a hard time finding my words and getting the correct pronunciation on things. So be patient with me. So yes, I've podcasted for about 3 months now, and I've been doing this solely in Finnish before this. I've been contemplating about doing these episodes also in English for these past 3 months. I've done these podcasts at all, but I wasn't brave enough to do this before now. So today I decided that it's time. And this is the take 1,000 millions and the third, I think, since I've been tripping over my tongue a lot recently. But I hope this one, I hope this time I succeed and I get something shareable out of this one. So yes, a bit about me perhaps, for all those who don't know me or haven't seen me before anywhere. So I'm a 30-something-year-old Finn. I live in the southern part of Finland near the coast, and I have a daughter. I'm a baker by profession. I do mainly pastry and special diet pastry at that. I'm really happy about my profession. I really love to bake. Knitting is a second passion, you could say. I love to knit almost as much as I love to bake. So this podcasting is something special to me in a sense as well. I've always loved sharing my projects with other people, and ever since I discovered knitting podcasts, I've been sort of gathering enough courage to start my own. So here I am, basically. That's the long and the short of it. So if you haven't watched any of my Finnish-speaking episodes, you haven't seen this finished object of mine, this beanie, when it was still a work in progress. This is a basic hat for my daughter, and this is a bit too small for myself, for me. So I'm giving this to her, although it is still a bit roomy for her, but she'll grow into it, I'm sure. There's this cotton and bamboo lining inside. I haven't used any pattern for this. This is a very long, a bit oversized beanie with a foldable brim. So it sits, there's 4 layers of fabric in the brim. No. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 4 layers. My math is failing me. My math is failing me so hard. But yes, there's 4 layers of fabric on the brim, on the foldable brim here, when you count the lining. And So yes, I'm not going to put it on since it's too small for me, but I used cotton and bamboo for the lining, as I said, and there's Drops Fabel with some leftover mohair on the brim side, and then some Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk blend, fluffy yarn in with the Fabel on the rest of the outer layer. So yes, I think it turned out quite nice. I think it came out quite nice, and I'm really happy with the result I've got. And my daughter has been very, very happy with the hat also. So yes, on to the works in progress. This next cardigan I'm going to show you, I've shown it once before in my earlier episodes, and at that time I was a bit less along than I'm now. I've been knitting these past few days quite a lot. So this is the cardigan. So there's a sleeve right here, and the middle section, and the other sleeve that's still in progress. So yes, there's a basic button band going on here. There are the buttonholes. Still, I'm going to finish them up later. As you can see, it's very stripy, has some colors going on. So yes, the other sleeve is done, and the only thing that remains to be finished is this last sleeve. So this is Novita Nalle. Novita is a Finnish yarn manufacturing company, and Nalle is one of the yarn labels. Nalle means basically teddy bear in English. And there's some Novita Nalle. The yellow mustard yellow color is Novita Nalle, and this rusty brownish orange is from Lanitium x Machina, and it's the colorway called 3 Septembers and a January. It was a yarn club color from the year 2017. It was never an actual color she sold, I believe, but I got this yarn through a friend of mine. And all these light colored stripes are basically whatever I had, you know, any leftover yarn I had on hand at the time. So yes, this is coming out quite nice. I've actually woven in many of the ends already, especially in the middle here. You can see there's some ends to be woven in later on, but still it's coming along quite nice. I'm much further on than I was before, and I don't think it will take me maybe a day or so, maybe a day or so, and then I'm finished with that one. I can wet it and I can block it, and then so on the buttons, and I'll be finished with it and have a new cardigan. Something else I've been working on lately. This is a new thing I started. This is a new thing I started. I have a very severe startitis. I like to start new projects. Like, if I had the option, I think I would prefer to begin new things like every day or every week or so. I have too many ideas in my head, but I'm trying to finish those older ones, but I'm not having too much success with that. So yes, this is something new. If you saw my previous episode, I didn't have this cast on at that point. But yes, I'm doing a mitten. I'm actually doing a pair of mittens. These are child-sized. So this has the Indian thumb gusset. I think that's the word I mean to use, gusset. I'm not so sure about that. But yes, this is a basic grey mitten that's coming along quite nice. I don't have any pattern for this one either. I actually don't use patterns all that much. I like to design patterns myself, but I have really a hard time using anyone else's or following a pattern at that. So this is a child's mitten. My daughter asked me one day during the last week or so, she asked me if I would knit a pair of mittens for her best friend. She said that her best friend had tried on her mittens and had felt so envious of my daughter's mittens that my daughter felt bad for her and wanted me to knit a pair of mittens for her best friend. I thought that was just so lovely of her. I thought that was just so lovely of her that I decided that I would make them a surprise, so my daughter can go and give those mittens to her friend as a gift later. Maybe I hope to finish them during next week, so perhaps she'll have a pair of mittens to gift later next week. So yes, something else I've been working on lately is my Seela scarf. Oh, that R came out rolling. So not scarf, but scarf. Like I said, my pronunciation is really not on point today. But yes, my Seela scarf is very much in the beginning at this point still. I haven't been able to knit this as much as I would have wanted. I haven't had the brain capacity or the time to do this one. So this is double knit. And this is basically double knit, and the motifs for this pattern are from Karelian embroidery. So the traditional Karelian embroidery from the eastern parts of Finland near the Russian border. They have these very intricate embroidery patterns they do, and this scarf of mine is inspired by those motifs. So not embroidery, but close enough. I've been using some merino and alpaca yarn for this scarf. So I have this undyed merino light fingering weight 100% merino. I don't think this is superwash at all, although it doesn't say, but I think this really isn't superwash. I have to find out. And then I have this Alpaca Superfine in 2 colors. The other is Turmeric, and this is Dusty Petroleum. And as you can see, I've begun working the scarf in the white undyed merino with the turmeric colored alpaca, and I'm going to add the petroleum colored alpaca in the middle of the scarf with the white undyed merino, and then finish it off with the turmeric colored once again. So that's that. That's my Seela scarf, and the pattern is going to be published perhaps later in the year. If I manage to knit the sample ready on time, it might not happen. It might not happen, or it might. I'm actually a very laid back knitter, you could say. I knit when I feel like it. I knit what I feel like knitting. I don't. I'm more of a process knitter than a project knitter, you could say. I like the process of knitting, and I like to feel the yarn and, you know, hear the ticking of the knitting needles, the clicking of the needles, and it's sort of meditative for me, the act of knitting. And I feel like every finished object I get is an added bonus. It's not the end result that matters for me, it's the journey through the process. So yes, basically those are a few of the things I've wanted to show you. I do have lots of other projects in the work, and I was thinking about introducing a few other things at this time as well, but maybe I should leave them. Maybe I should leave them for now and show them when I've actually done some work on them, instead of just showing you stuff I already showed before and I haven't actually made any progress. So yes, I hope I haven't been too rambly. I'm very happy that you managed to watch me all the way through here, and I hope to see you again. So yes, without further ado, bye bye.